The modern dating landscape runs on speed. You open an app, swipe a screen, and a digital connection instantly bridges the gap between you and a complete stranger. It feels safe because the initial interaction is entirely contained on your phone. Jessica Trullier was 35 years old, navigating this exact landscape while raising her children in Marrero, Louisiana. In October 2020, she matched with a 41-year-old man named Jamal Harris. The conversation moved quickly from the app to the real world. After a night out, Jessica invited Harris back to her home. That rapid transition is a feature of online matching. It accelerates intimacy. You bypass the traditional social vetting process and let a stranger directly into your personal space, assuming the digital platform has already filtered out the threats. But outside the controlled environment of a smartphone, the physical reality of Louisiana carries severe statistical risks for women. This chart compares female homicide rates across the United States. Year after year, Louisiana consistently ranks in the top 5 nationwide. When you break down the data, the perpetrators are rarely random attackers. Intimate partner violence and domestic abuse drive these mortality rates. In fact, 98% of female homicide victims in the state are killed by someone they know. The baseline for violence here is exceptionally high. More than half of Louisiana residents will experience physical violence at some point in their lifetime. These numbers represent the actual probability of danger a person faces the moment they remove the anonymity of a dating app and invite a match into their physical environment. When Jamal Harris arrived at Jessica's home in Marrero, the digital persona completely dissolved. Jessica immediately realized he did not look like his profile picture. Her intuition triggered, signaling that the man standing in her house was a deceptive potential threat. She discreetly sent a text message to a friend she had been with earlier that evening. She begged them to please come help get old boy out of my house. Then she activated a secondary safety measure. She called her 56-year-old father, Robert Temple, asking him to come over. She needed him to act as a protective buffer while they gave Harris a ride home to end the date. Despite these active steps to protect herself, the fundamental risk of an unknown stranger remained. By the time Jessica moved to secure her perimeter, the threat had already crossed the threshold. Robert Temple arrived, and they moved to execute Jessica's exit strategy. They walked out to her SUV to drive Harris away. They staged the vehicle for safety. Jessica and her father took the front seats, while Harris was directed into the back. From the blind spot of the back seat, Harris produced a firearm. The physical protection Robert provided from the passenger seat was instantly nullified. This pie chart illustrates exactly how intimate partner violence turns fatal in Louisiana. 75% of all intimate partner homicides in the state involve firearms, a rate significantly higher than the national average. Harris shot both Jessica and Robert in the back of the head. A woman's sharp intuition and a father's physical intervention are tragically outmatched by a localized epidemic of easily accessible firearms. Investigators later found Jessica's SUV parked on a street in Marrero, with the bodies of the father and daughter left inside. The violence left orphaned children, stripped a family of their grandfather, and deeply rattled the surrounding community. Police tracked down and arrested Jamal Harris, but the arrest was just the beginning of an agonizing multi-year progression through the Louisiana legal system. The resolution took nearly 6 years. In April 2026, a Jefferson Parish judge finally handed down a conviction, finding Harris guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder. The violence itself takes only seconds to execute. The painfully slow wait for a legal conviction compounds the trauma for survivors, forcing them to live in limbo long after the crime scene is cleared. The double homicide in Marrero reveals a severe vulnerability in how we navigate digital communication. An action as effortless as swiping on a profile picture translated directly into irreversible physical devastation. We routinely use digital interfaces to vet the people we meet, substituting algorithms for actual familiarity. It manufactures a false sense of security that masks the inherent danger of interacting with strangers. The most profound threats in the modern landscape do not have to hide in the shadows or break through a window. Often, they are invited directly through the front door.